Today we are reviewing the two buck knives, the Csar-T buck knife, and then we have the folding Caesar knife.
So the first one up is the Buck Csar-T folder. Blade steel on this, 154 cm, which is in my opinion, a premium steel. G10 handles. This thing is a monster of a knife. Liner lock. We also got the Buck Csar-T fixed blade. And these are actually a collaboration between Buck and Tops Knives. Both knives feature the 154 cm. These two basically in new. I have not used either one of these. Both knives are original factory sharp. Never sharpened them, never touched them. Honestly, they've been sitting in a box. Haven't really cut anything with them. I also have one that I've carried for about 7 years. And I have put this thing through the ringer. Same exact Buck Tops folder, 154 cm. On one occasion, broke the tip. I'm notorious for that. Went ahead and sharpened it up. First time I convex sharpened it, which kind of gave it the that overall curve. They come with a convex or a concave, excuse me, which you can kind of see in there. I didn't really prefer that, as it didn't seem as strong, and I had to sharpen it more often than I'd like to. If you look real close, you can see the difference, where you've got the gradual curve to the blade as opposed to the sharp edge there. And I kind of modified the Tano on purpose to give it kind of a round edge. The sharpest part of this knife is that modified Tano that I did. I like the point, but a lot of times when you're cutting something, it's nice to have that extra, edge to kind of dig. But what I found was, especially like cutting rope, this thing would allow me to do a drag cut really easy, because it would just kind of slip, and as soon as it hits that curve, it just slices it. So this one's brand new, never been used. This one I've used for, like I said, 5 to 7 years, somewhere in there. Haven't sharpened the new one. This one I've sharpened maybe a couple of weeks ago. So I'm going to do a little cut test. I think I'll put those guys up against each other and see which one's sharper. The as is out of the box Caesar folder and the modified version that I've had for 7 years. You can tell I've taken quite a bit of blade off over the time. Maybe about ½ an inch, quarter of an inch. And then obviously the fixed blade, which I haven't done anything to, and part of the reason I put the that curve in that Tanto is because I felt like it was a little more representative of the fixed blade. I felt like that had more of a curve than that sharp point. I think I'll have baby son hand me some things to cut. What do you got, baby son?
I'm just gonna be in the woods, so you can do the push cut, and then after that we'll do some wire.
Okay, we're gonna do a push cut.
Some of this.
All right, do a push cut on some paracord. This 550 paracord. The first one up is going to be the out of the box Csar-T, which, as far as I know, it's been discontinued. I doubt you're going to find one if you go on eBay. They're probably a couple of $100. So just push cutting using that tip. Do a slide cut. Not too bad once it hits that tip. That's kind of what that tip's good for. Let's do the top. So it wasn't really sharp out of the box. Definitely not as sharp as that Code 4.
No.
But in comparison, just to give you an idea of what you're working with, here's the Code 4, DLC coded with the S35VN. Look at the size of the blade. See that, baby son?
That's crazy, and the Code 4 cuts faster than that.
Well, there's a lot to be said about the thin blade. The thin blade.
It's more often to cut.
Well, it does. Well, look at the puncture test when we did the puncture test on the other box. The thinner blade punctures really nice and easy. But if you look at the thickness, look at the handle thickness. I'd say that the buck is, I don't know, I'll measure it out, but the buck is literally twice the size, thickness-wise, of the Code 4. Do a couple more cuts here. Drag cuts are really easy once it hits that tip. Back towards the bust. Let's start to do a push. Kind of rock it. Slices real good. I mean, it's a good blade. Do a slap cut.
Kind of like sushi.
Like Ginsu knives. You don't know nothing about no Ginsu knives.
Because you haven't shown me that many knives. I don't know these ones. That is spewing like rope guts.
So that's the rope guts. So that's the new Csar-T with the concave blade. Then there's my Csar-T with the modified Tano convex edge. Much easier to cut. Even on the tip, I can rock it really easy. So if you're cutting into something a little bit heavier, slap cut.
Cuts like dust.
So, in my opinion, convex edge is the way to go. The other thing, oh, well, thank you, sir. The other thing you'll notice on concave edges, because there's such a fine edge and the way it's angled, a lot of times what will happen is you'll see some rolls, you'll see some dings and some divots. With the convex, as opposed to the concave like the other one, because it's curved and it kind of comes to a point, instead of coming to a point like this, it's coming more at like a curve and down to a point. You just get a stronger, edge. So with that stronger edge, you won't see those same dings, and you're not going to see it with rope, but when you hit something a little bit heavier. What else we got? Let's get something a little heavier. What do you got for me?
I mean, we haven't tried the big one. I mean, I think the big one would cut.
Oh, the big one will cut.
It will cut.
So we got some more DeWalt cord. I'm going to show the, we'll start off with my version with the convex. Got a little slappy. Cuts pretty quick, obviously. Do a little slide cut. Do the back portion. A little push cut. Push cut. Push cut. Push cut. Little slide cut. So that's with mine. Relatively easy with the stronger edge. Back to the concave out of the box version.
And I still don't get concave.
Yeah, let's move that there. So do a push cut on the back side.
You have to kind of like push really hard onto it to cut.
So it cuts. Get yourself in a little spot there. Do a little slide cut. A little bit harder on that one, actually. It kind of hits it and then jumps. Can't really tell in the camera. Let me see if I can hold it this way. So when you roll across it, it kind of feels like the blade kind of hops over it and then cuts it. Whereas my version just rolls right through it. I don't know if you can kind of see that in the camera, but back to this guy. Let's kind of do a hold cut and see what happens. This is kind of the claim to fame, I think, with the convex. And I think the edge on this, just push cut right through it. And this is mine here. Oh, no. There we go. I just slipped. I gotta put a little manpower behind it. What else you got? A little paper?
Yep, this is the second easier thing. That's easy.
What if they ask us what grade of paper this is? What grade of paper is this? I mean, I don't know what the paper's made of.
It's made out of art type of paper.
It's art type of paper. Let's use the convex version. After cutting all that, still sharp.
That looks like something that the FGX could cut.
Think the FGX could cut that?
Mm-hmm.
Let's see about this guy. All right, back to the out of the box, brand new version. It's really good down here. Get a good long cut. Once you hit that edge, it's really nice. There again, another big difference between the convex and concave. For paper, concave, because it does make a sharper, thinner edge, cutting the paper cuts it like a razor, essentially. The convex, on the other hand, because it kind of makes a wider blade, a wider edge. It doesn't quite cut the paper as smoothly. It will if you do it right, like I just did. But the biggest thing is it will, it is a little bit wider, so you're not kind of penetrating the thin fibers of the paper, right? The thin fibers of the paper. What else you got for me, baby son?
We got the same thing we got last time.
We got a box.
Yep.
Alright, we got ourselves
Last
a little
one
box
has a
here.
bug. For some stupid reason.
Nice. Let's see. Well, let's just do this. That's with the convex.
I try to put them up as like protection. But either way, it will cut.
And this one's with the concave. I mean, obviously millions of knives around the world are made both ways, so.
Just cutting that looks awesome.
Alright, let's see. Let's take one of these little pieces here. See if we can do some strips. So this one using the point right there. And just kind of dragging it across.
And after that, we got something that the big knife could probably cut. I couldn't say cut.
So this one, it does cut pretty deep. It's not cutting all the way through. Let me try it on the bigger side of the box. Get a little more leverage on it. I'm dragging it. There we go. It's a game of angles, boys and girls. It's a game of angles. So I did that kind of with the point. And I'm digging pretty far into that wood when I cut. It doesn't look like it's rolled or anything. Yeah, it doesn't look like it's rolled at all. I'll go back to the convex version. I feel like I don't have to push as hard. Cutting the box, it's a little bit heavier material as opposed to the paper. And because the blade edge is a little bit thicker, yeah, I'm cutting through the cardboard, but I'm also not burying myself in the wood.
That wood is really strong.
Yeah, what do you think?
We might need more stuff.
You might need more stuff. What else you got for me? You got the cardboard paper? I want to do some slice cuts here.
Now see, it kind of cuts like paper, but it's really hard to push down.
Yeah. Let's do some
Unlike-
rock cuts here.
Like cold steel knives, it'll just slice right through. It'll just be like paper.
So that's pretty thick. That's pretty thick cardboard right there. It did kind of bend it a little bit when I was pushing. Let's see if see what the concave version does. Yeah, so that kind of folded on me. Yeah, kind of tore that one.
An omelet.
As far as slicing it.
It's literally me after chores.
A lot of it's, you know, hitting it at the right angle and speed and force, right?
Yeah, we might need more of that type of cardboard.
More of that type of cardboard. We got another mess for you to clean up.
Well, thanks. Here, I'll just do it. Here, this is the next one. This is the final thing to cut. Or second to last, because we're gonna do wood.
Second to last, and then we're gonna do wood. Okay. So we got the Amazon paper again. I didn't really show this in the last video, but it's kind of double. Well, I guess there's 4 sheets, and then it's got this like foam stuff in it. So let's just see how that affects it. I mean, sure, everybody gets a package or 2 nowadays. So let's just try to push it. Barely made a line in it. Let's try the convex. Kind of did the same thing, but it did make a little bit deeper cut down here. So you can see this is the, on the right, that's the concave. On the left is the convex. Down towards the bottom, it made a little better cut. Let's do a drag cut here. Go the full length. Right here it's really thick, so cut real good.
I officially lost some paper.
That's alright, we'll get it. Alright, back to the original. That point really lets it dig. I don't know. I just prefer, I guess. Let me know in the comments what you think. If you think I was an idiot for ruining a $250 knife and
$250?
well, that's what I paid for it.
Oh, so it isn't?
Yeah, it was quite a while ago. It was a discontinued model. It was kind of a gift for myself. You know, I like to treat myself nice.
And other people nice as well.
Yeah, this one. I don't remember. I got this one. I got this one when it was from a store, and I think I paid regular retail. This one I got stupid, and it was actually in a set, and where I bought it from and all that. So paid a little bit more because there were some other knives in there.
What were the other knives?
Well, I'm sure we'll get to them. We got plenty of video time. So that cuts that paper pretty easily. Let's try slice. Slice. This one doesn't. I got a little better. Let's try slice. Yeah, it wants to grab. Let's try the convex. Yeah, it's just hard to cut paper. I think we found that out with the. Well, let's get the code 4 out. Let's see what the code 4 does. Oh, look at that. Code 4 makes short work of it. I don't know if I've ever told anybody, but I love cold steel knives.
I mean...
Have I ever said that, baby son?
Yes, you have.
I have.
Video, we're soon to make, just we can't post it yet because we're doing some things on it.
Yeah, well... Anyway.
I mean, you predicted what I was going to say.
Did I predict what you were going to say?
Yes. Stab the paper.
Stab. Always with the stabby. Stabby, stabby. Alright, so now we got wood.
I think the big knife's probably
The big knife. Well, I'm going to use all of them. I'm going to try them all. So, start with my modified version.
Kind of like the Code 4 serrated version.
You can really dig in. Give it a couple.
That gets deeper. My God. that
Digs
looks
pretty
like an
deep.
axe.
Obviously, not affected. Move over to the concave, out of the box version. Switch sides. Give this one a little chance to perform. This one digs. Doesn't curl out as much, but does a really good job of like ferruling. Give her some choppies. Some choppies. Pretty good. Might have just put mine to shame. Let me try that one more time. Maybe I was just getting the hang of it. Yeah, mine's still better. Well, let's give the big guy a chance. We haven't seen this. This is, again, same thing. Full tang blade. Full tang.
Only difference is it has a sheath and it's a fixed blade.
You'll notice that the folder is actually just as, if not a little bit wider than the fixed blade. Yeah, on the handle. Blade size, that's the really crazy part. Blade size is dang near the same. Got a little more depth, a little more belly. The one thing I did find out though, these little holes, if you ever need to stick a piece of wire through there and bend a little chunk of wire, like on trailers and stuff like that, if you're putting wire through there, or heavy duty like baling wire, you can actually stick it through there and kind of use it to twist and bend if you don't have a multi-tool.
Let's see the big boy in action.
The big boy in action. Well, I made a mess out of that. Well, let's just finish chopping. Well, let's finish chopping that out. It will chop.
It is for sale.
Alright, let's see about a little bit of, yeah, this one's, you know, and this has the concave edge as well. She does a really good job kind of ferruling it up. Let's see what she does. Let's try this.
It makes like little tiny pizza rolls.
Yeah, let's shave it like little rolls.
Or just little dough.
It's kind of cool. Let me try that with one of these here.
Dad, you're cleaning up the mess. You were the one that
I think you're going to have to get the vacuum out. Yeah, see this is my version. It digs a little bit deeper. I did a hell of an angle on the, when I convex this. And I did this with sandpaper, a cutting board, and a little bit of padding. Maybe one of these times I'll show you that technique, but you take a hard surface, put like a mouse pad, and then your sandpaper on top of it, and essentially just sharpen your knife the same way you would on like a sharpening stone, and it gives it that convex edge.
These are the first knives to actually cut very far through the wood.
Well, I really didn't put the cold steels through that big of a test. I think we'll have to do a cold steel test where we beat the heck out of a couple of them.
I mean, we could try this thing.
Maybe next time.
You're really delaying this for the viewers, aren't you?
Well, I guess let me know if you think we should do an outdoor video. I do have.
Outdoor.
We'll have to do an outdoor video. I can't swing this axe in here.
I mean, that's
it's a little
true.
beat up. I've had this S-wing for a while. We've got a couple of axes and hatchets and stuff we can do some reviews on, or some previews if you want to see them. Let me know what you think. Hopefully you liked the video.
Hammer?
We could try hammer next time. You got anything you want to say to the good people before we sign off here, baby son?
Like, share, comment, and subscribe. And this is Bachelor's.